What skills have you acquired on your journey that you would say has made you a sharper entrepreneur?
Just trying to become a more whole person, like knowing yourself as best as possible, like really maximizing your skill set and talent. Yeah, that's huge. That's a skill. That's learned. That's
Expound on that a little bit.
So with the lead, for example.
So put the energy out there, made a flyer, went into production, never produced an event. Of course, like I said, I bartended, waited tables, cater waiter. I know hospitality. You come to my house, Jameer's been in my house, like I know how an event should feel, I know how a tournament should look, I know how a tournament should feel. Knowing all of that, I knew what the flyer should look like. I knew I had a vision for it. I had a purpose. I love basketball, love modeling, love connecting people, love networking. I just love, again, creating a platform. Like, wanting to be able to put on for your friends. Like, I hoop with my friends all the time, and we can never find a place to play. I was like, shit, like, I'm gonna throw a tournament. We can all get together on one day, hoop, do something great for the community, you know? It was an investment. Again, I was investor, I was producer, I was founder, like, I was receptionist, I was assistant, like, LLC, the production company, you know, Parker Productions, made a website, you know, learning these things in terms of like business formation, thinking that you can get business financing, you know, from a bank, like, then realizing like, oh shit, I need X, Y, and Z in place to be able to get financing. Like, I need a business phone number, I need a business address, like,
Financial literacy.
Yeah, I need an EIN number, I need a DUNS number, I need trade lines, I need vendors to, you know, be reporting before I can go get a business credit or business capital. So, all of that.
All that's important stuff, by the way.
Exactly. Things we weren't taught. Like, realizing all of that, having the bandwidth to be like, all right, so for that, go towards this tournament. Like, make sure I had uniforms from Nike and everything embroidered. Make sure, again, I was up till 3, 4 in the morning following up, sending emails to various companies, like following up with agencies, going back and forth with 50 plus guys, like making sure everybody showed up for this tournament, making sure the products, having products mailed to my apartment, you know what I'm saying? Like boxes of chips. I'm carrying up 3 flights of stairs, you know what I'm saying? Like not having a team, realizing like, oh shit, like maybe I should have been planning this for a year out. I said I was gonna do this in April, and I set tournament date for September. Like realizing like, oh shit, I need to give myself enough time. But as soon as I put the flyer out there, you know, the world works in magical ways. Like you put shit out there, people will receive it. I put the flyer on Eventbrite. Somebody from the Barclays Center reached out to me and welcomed me to do my second event before I even did my first one. So it was like, oh shit, like if you don't follow up, if you don't produce, you gonna fumble, you know, double time, you know what I'm saying? So it was like making shit happen, ordering, you know, shit from Uline, adding pieces to the event. I had art and artists involved as well. Like models are not just models, we're multifaceted. Again, like models can hoop, models also are artists, like they paint. So I had a bunch of models who paint, come and display their artwork on the gates. Like, I mean, Harmless Harvest, I can go down the list of, you know, sponsors I reached out to. They ain't send no money, but they send products. But, you know, we gotta make do with what we gotta do what we gotta do to make this shit happen and make us game. Because we only had an hour on the, you know, hour and a half on the court. So, you know, we had the improv. So then it became a different event, you know what I'm saying? So I had to pivot from just working with agencies. So I had to like make one game. It was dope, like crazy influence. Nike DM'd me. Like, again, just collabing, putting it out there. People putting it out there for you too. Like people I had involved. Like so I wanted this game to be co-ed. So I had a couple female models participate, a couple street ball legends. I flew King Handles in from Toronto. Doja Maddox, she is a former female player in Europe, over from California. Had a couple of influencers.
You had a vision.
Yeah, bro. You know, again, following up, like filling in these pieces, pivoting, like, you know, just you gotta be like water. Like, it's true, bro. Like, you gotta be like water. Like,
Bruce Lee.
I mean, like, really, man, just not to dominate the time right now, but like, I can really go on, bro. Like, I just accepted a position, a financial advisor position at Equitable, just servicing interiors, talking with him about financial literacy. You know, telling him I wanted to change, like I wanted to make more of a difference. You know what I'm saying? Boom, set up interviews. Got hired 2 months ago, so in the process of taking my state exams to be a financial advisor. Like really making a difference in our community, giving back, like bridging that wealth gap. Like, cause it's crazy, bro. We're so creative. We have so many ideas. Group economics. Like, there's so many things we don't know about life insurance. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
what skills have you acquired on your journey that you would feel has made you a sharper entrepreneur?
There's a few, right? But like, number one on my list is it's cliche, but your network determines your net worth. That's like super key. I think a lot of people are just selfish when it comes to sharing knowledge, right? Or working with somebody else. And I remember the first person, right, that was of the industry that put me aside and congratulated me and said I was doing good was Chris Lighty. I remember I put an event together and it was a showcase for artists. I wanted to provide a space where everybody can, at the end of the day, they would all see me as the point of contact to get everybody, to bring everybody together. And that's all I cared about, was just being the person that could bring everyone together. The second thing that I carry on to me is make sure that you are the brand, right? And you are true to who you are. I feel like a lot of times you see in the industry, right, where you're confused, like our favorite artists, we probably love them because of their brand, right? Without even realizing who they are as a person, right? For example, Drake is the person that puts his heart on his sleeve, right? And most men won't like him because we feel like he's soft, right? But in reality, he speaks what a lot of people feel, right? And then you have like DMX, who was like outspoken and aggressive, but was honest, right? And he's like my perfect example of like being true to who you are, make sure you are your brand. At any given moment, his grandmother that passed away, and then he's gonna cry on stage, and then he's gonna pray. You know what I mean? And that's who we are, right? So he wasn't afraid to be true to his brand. I think the moment that you're not true to your brand, people get confused on who you are, and you lose out on friends and clientele and things like that. And it's only for so long you can lie to yourself. So I think that's like my main thing.
Authenticity.
And you gotta be authentic, I feel like. And then when you are the brand, right, and you're true to who you are, you become personable, and people will trust you. And they trust who you are as a person. And if they trust you as a person, and you're true to whatever you're selling or whatever your creative is, then it just becomes true, right? You can Google anything right now, right? I have a joke with my friends. I got a couple of friends that know my password on my phone. And I'm like, yo, if I die, just like delete my Google history, you know what I'm saying? Because I Google anything. But if you Google like man eats couches, right? There's a whole bunch of people that eat couches, right? So it's like, it's weird to us, but it's true to somebody else. So, just stay firm. And another thing too is like, just believe in yourself. It's so easy to doubt yourself. And I love how we're also speaking about like God so much, right? And that's the main thing that's instilled in us, is having faith, right? But also knowing that faith without works is dead. So it's not enough to just have faith. Like, you have to believe in what you believe in enough to do it, right? If you're not willing to put the work in, do you really believe in it? That's the thing about it, you know what I'm saying? And that's like the most important thing for me. There's nothing that I do that I don't believe in, right? And I'm willing to, like my brother was saying, like, still like, bank on yourself enough to believe in yourself. If I see someone doesn't believe in themselves, then I immediately don't believe in them, right? Like, I will never invest in someone that won't invest in themselves. And that goes with time, energy, money, everything. So those are the main things that I feel like for me, like I just take on a daily basis. So those are like the essential core things. that's helped me to be like who I am. So.
What skills have you acquired on your journey that you feel has made you a sharper entrepreneur?
So, working with different businesses, I learned how to be very patient. Reason I said that, right? I remember when I started doing my freelancing business, it's just that I will go to a business and tell them like what I'm selling, and they'll be like, no, and they will be no, saying like straight no, yeah, I have somebody already. And the thing is like I did not give up. The fact that I was patient enough, that person itself, they can basically call you like 4 months after. So basically, like if you build a brand, you basically like create value into it. It's just like I feel like it's just like life is just a boomerang. Like that person will always come around at some point when your service is needed. So I learned how to be patient, and I learned how to basically like manifest my my goal. And the reason I said that is just that at the end of last year, right? One of the things I probably didn't really share about you guys, I'm really into tech. That's the reason I love cameras. I love my cameras. It's one of the best investments I ever made, even though it cost me a lot. But long story short, it's just that I manifest what I wanted to get from. I'm a content creator. Like there's a lot of things that I can't do. It's just that I don't really box myself within one thing, because I feel like me just as a videographer, I probably would not basically be making money as well, because there's a lot of people that's doing the same thing that I'm doing. So I basically like put my, I create like a skill set for myself where I basically like tap into everything that I know within being a videographer or content creator. Like for example, like as a content creator, I work with brands. I create my platform where I told myself like at the beginning of the year, I made a video. I was like, my goal is as a content creator is to work with different type of brands that's coming along my way now, and I'll be willing to basically like as soon the year started. I'm not saying like the brand that I wanted reach out to me, but I got reached out by OnePlus. I started working with OnePlus. I got a contract with them for a whole year. Straight up, it's just like, talk about it, you make a video about it, it happened. It's just like, true. If you basically like have the type of mindset where you don't want to give up, you don't give up.
What skills have you acquired on your journey that you would say has made you a sharper entrepreneur?
Reinventing yourself, trying to be something more than what you see. Being complacent is easy. And if it's not a sin, I think that God should put it as a sin. It's a sin. It should be. It's sloth. Exactly. It's like, I mean, even distraction. Being a master over these things are like serious, but I feel like when you master it, there's nothing that can stop you. I feel like I mastered complacency. I think I mastered a skill that I acquired was to be a master of detachment. Be a master of detachment of tangible things as well as relationships. I'm learning that right now, relationship-wise, but the tangible things, I sell everything today that I have. I sold my car last year to build that studio. Yeah, that's exactly how we met. I came in, I just actually strolled in here because I used to come to Juicy Box as a customer. And then there was a brunch. And I'm like, oh, I brought my mother here, my second mother here, and we came in for the tasso and black rice, and they didn't have the tasso and black rice. I'm like, oh my God, it's my favorite meal. And no lie, the way Ja brought himself to me, I introduced myself, to be honest. That's what I do. But Ja's customer service made me stay. Let's see like how are things gonna run here. Me and Q spoke about making the event years ago. And I'm like, you know what, I'm ready to pull the trigger now. But being a master over that, those 3 things, I feel like nothing can stop you after that. We gotta get out of this mindset, especially growing up in New York, even different places in our community, wearing the clothes, the Jordans, when I was growing up, it was True Religion and nudies and stuff like that. Like, yo, like if you don't feel like that, like if I see the boys on the block and they got women, they got cars, clothes, all that, like I feel empty, and I feel that we all have a needing to belong somewhere. But when you get rid of that, when you detach yourself from that, there's no stopping. There's no stopping. So those are my 3 things.
What skills have you acquired on your journey that you feel has made you a sharper entrepreneur?
So I had to stop trying to make people comfortable. My goal was not to make people comfortable. I'm not here for comfort. I'm here to express, to be, to exist. And so once I found my value and I found my faith and I learned how to learn, then I started earning income. Then people saw me when I walked in the room. Then they wanted to know who I was. then I started to attract, I became a magnet. As Jamir says, the person who put this together, when you have the garden, the butterflies come. I stopped chasing butterflies. I started gardening, working in the dirt, and they kept coming.
So once you saw yourself, they saw you.
Yes, King.
Yeah, that's it.
When I saw myself, that mirror work, right? He brought me back full circle. Only you know how deep that is, right? He brought me back
Bars.
full circle. When I saw myself and what I could be, and I was willing to face reality no matter what, it had to bend to my will. It had to.
That is something that I would say I've struggled with my whole life. I was never really a follower, but you know, I was always kind of doing my own thing. But if there was someone that was more competent than me, then hey, by all means, take the lead. So with my experience, I've realized certain tests that I've been put through, it may have sucked as I was experiencing it, but I was literally put through that test to help others navigate that test. Hence, being elevated to a position of leadership. That doesn't mean you're better than anyone else. That just means you've navigated the path. And if the individual you're working with is coachable, you can teach them the steps to literally diminish the amount of time it's going to take them to do it. So something that could have taken you 5 years, you can teach someone to do it in 1 year, maybe even 6 months, depending how serious they are and how much they're willing to apply themselves. And the next skill that I picked up, I would definitely say is communication. Because being an effective communicator, things are tangible, but once you can communicate effectively, literally things will be given to you. Like that's just the way the law works. The law of compensation, energy is you attract what you are, not what you want. So if you can if you can become an effective communicator, you'll be able to articulate yourself in ways that things will just have to come to you. And as we mentioned earlier, we're not using, we're utilizing. Sing, Brandon, Noble, Easy, and also all mentioned that in their own unique ways, which is why they're here. Because we're all reflections of each other and we're all one at the end of the day. So thank you guys for taking the time to attend this panel. Thank you, Juicy Box, for having us. Thank you, Jamir, with the influence brunch. This is a little tranche in it, but we'll be back. We'll be doing a lot more.